Before this video starts, I wanted to inform every single last viewer of this video that I have started a GoFundMe for the Inoue Fulton fight. I'm trying to go to Japan and raise some money and get you guys great content out there in Japan. And I'm going to try to be out there for at least a month. And I'm going to need you guys' help to get you guys that great content and make this thing happen. So if you're interested in helping me with that, the GoFundMe link will be down below in the description and in the pinned comments. So help me out and help me help you help True School Sports get to the land of the rising sun for Inoue Fulton. It is the road to Japan. So yeah, help me out with that and enjoy the video.
It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, interesting stuff going on in the cruiserweight division right now, and this is actually going to be a two-part video, guys. So please bear with me. But wow, Makabu, Makabu, the WBC cruiserweight champion. Last we heard of him, he was supposed to fight down here in Miami on the most recent Don King card. Makabu was supposed to fight Noel McCallion for the WBC title on the undercard. Well, actually, no, it was the main event of that card. It didn't happen because McCallion pulled out with an injury. So now it's been reported that Makabu will be defending his WBC belt in his next fight. You can say the date, February 26th on ESPN Plus against Badou Jack in Saudi Arabia. Crazy. Such a weird fight in a weird location. And this continues a growing trend in boxing. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit later on. But like this continues a growing trend in boxing of these big fights going to Saudi Arabia. But Badou Jack versus Makabu. It's a really weird fight. It's two guys that I really do think have seen better days. Like Makabu, I think he's about 4 to 5 years past his best. Badou Jack, I think he's about 4 to 5 years past his best. But nonetheless, they find themselves here in this title fight. Badou Jack is shooting to become a two-division champion. You know, Badou Jack was a champion at 168. You know, didn't become champion at 175, and he probably did the right thing going to cruiserweight because he would have not a snowball's chance in hell of being a champion now. If he had to fight better be ever Bivol, he'd have no chance. He's coming off a fight, Badou Jack, where, like both these guys actually, both Makabu and Jack are coming off fights where they didn't look so great the last fight. Like Badou Jack, his last fight, he fought on the undercard of Joshua Usyk 2 against the dude from Massachusetts, Popeye Rivera. I think his name is Rafael Rivera, Popeye Rivera. I think that was his name. I could be getting his name wrong, but the dude Popeye he fought. A lot of people thought he lost that fight. Popeye, you know, hadn't been at that level before, and a lot of people thought he beat Badou Jack. Badou Jack got the decision, and that kind of preserved this opportunity. Makabu in his last fight, I thought might have had the biggest robbery victory in a championship fight of 2022. No doubt about it. He fought the Bisio Mchunu, the very slick southpaw boxer from Africa, on you know, in Ohio on a Don King pay-per-view that very few people watched and tuned into. And basically, I thought, you know, he was very inefficient in the fight. He really showed that was the fight to me where I could confidently say I think Makabu is a washed fighter. Like I think his power isn't what it used to be. I don't think that left hand is quite as devastating as it once was. But he didn't look that great in that fight. So both these guys haven't looked great in the last couple of fights. Both these guys are a couple years past their best days in boxing, and I don't really expect a whole lot from this fight. So you know, we'll see what happens. But this continues a growing trend in boxing of these title fights going to Saudi Arabia, and I'm getting to that point now where I'm just gonna ask the question, like, is Saudi Arabia about to become the new Las Vegas of boxing? Like, is it becoming the Las Vegas of the Middle East? Because, you know, we've seen Joshua fight there a couple of times. We've seen we've heard rumors about the Usyk and Fury fight heading over there. We saw Zotto versus Bivol out there in the Middle East. So this is happening a lot. Fights going to the Middle East, and you know, is it good for boxing? It's good for the fighters. I mean, the fighters are getting paid, so God bless them for that. But I don't know if it's good or bad for boxing. It's just a new thing. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is all these fights going to the Middle East? Do you think it's good for boxing? Let me know in the comments down below. It's definitely good for the fighters because the fighters are getting paid more, but that's really where it begins and ends. But yeah, a lot of interesting things happening in this cruiserweight division right now. So that's not the only thing happening in this cruiserweight division right now. Switching gears. Chris Billam Smith, CBS, yes, the fighting pride of all of Bournemouth. He was talking about his future in boxing and what could be next. And he pretty much stated that, listen, man, he wants the fight he wants is Jay Opetaia, which is a good fight. You know, Opetaia is the champion of the weight class that he's the highest, of the governing body that he is the highest ranked in. So he wants to fight Jay Opetaia at the Vitality Stadium in Bournemouth. That's what he's trying to do, right? If not that, then he wants the rematch with Richard Riakporhe, which I think would be a banger. It'd be a great fight. Richard Riakporhe is an amazing fighter. He's one of the best cruiserweights in the world. I think he might be the best cruiserweight in the world. That right hand is something to play with. And then the third thing that I thought was probably the most interesting thing out of all the statements is he was saying that apparently there's been talk of him fighting Sergey Kovalev. Yes, that's Sergey Kovalev. Former light heavyweight champion Kovalev, the crusher. You know, one of the best jabs in boxing, Sergey Kovalev, you know. For those that may have missed it, last year, Kovalev actually made his cruiserweight debut, and he won a pretty wide points decision against Kubrat Pulev's brother, Tervel Pulev, who was undefeated. So Kovalev is now a cruiserweight. Kovalev is campaigning at the cruiserweight limit. And that would be an interesting fight because Chris Billam Smith's a pretty good-sized cruiserweight. Kovalev, more of like an average-sized cruiserweight. But Kovalev still has that world-class boxing ability, that world-class jab. I don't know how his stamina is. I think it'll definitely be tested in that fight. But to me, you know, honestly, look, if we can't get Opetaia, Riakporhe, I mean, listen, Riakporhe already beat him, and Opetaia really should be fighting a Coley, right? So for me, I want to see that fight. Make Kovalev versus Chris Billam Smith. That would just be cool. Like, just to see Sergey Kovalev in there, you know, with that world-class jab he's got, that world-class jab he has. See if he can make it work at cruiserweight against a sizable, big, good-sized cruiserweight in Chris Billam Smith. That would just be awesome to see. And I'm going to tell you this. If Kovalev could actually be Chris Billam Smith, oh, my God. Then you're talking about Kovalev at, you know, his advanced age potentially being in line for a cruiserweight title shot, beating one of the best cruiserweights in the division in Chris Billam Smith. So there's definitely options for Chris Billam Smith. He's definitely off the heels of that great fight with Isaac Chamberlain last year and his most recent knockout against Arnold Jojai. He's definitely made himself worthy of somebody to reckon with in the cruiserweight division, you know, in the next couple of fights. And he's in line for a big fight. So, you know, I know he's talking Opetaia. I know he's talking about the Riakporhe rematch, and rightfully so. Those are bigger, more important fights. But man, Sergey Kovalev's a legend in boxing. You know, former pound for pound number 2, former unified light heavyweight champion. I mean, that'd be sick. That fight would just be awesome. I honestly forget the rest of the fights. Just give me Kovalev versus Chris Billam Smith. But that's the news, man. That's my little cruiserweight update for you guys. Makabu versus Badou Jack is in Saudi Arabia on ESPN Plus, nonetheless. So Bob Arum, make your fights happen on ESPN Plus. And Chris Billam Smith throws out the idea of him fighting Sergey Kovalev at cruiserweight. So make of that what you will. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.